Good evening and welcome to TV Tuần-san News of the Week. My name is Emma Doe. And what's making headlines this week? Popular Vietnamese actress Phuong Nga locked in a court battle. Vietnamese authorities search to arrest the former head of a state-owned textile company. And a local council in Adelaide votes to raise the Co Vang. In this week's top story, Vietnam has issued a nationwide warrant for the arrest of a former business executive accused of causing massive losses at a state-owned textile company. The move came amid news reports that 42-year-old Vo Đình Duy fled the country last October, right before inspectors found violations at his company. Between 2009 and 2014, Duy was a former general director for Tvts, a joint venture between state oil and gas group Petrol Vietnam and textile giant Vinatex, which built a polyester plant in the northern port city of Hai Phong. Under his leadership, the plant failed to turn a profit and incurred losses of more than $61.6 million. The plant was effectively shut down in September 2015 due to various investment and construction violations. Vietnam is still a hot destination for foreign tourists, with 6.2 million visitors touching down in the first half of this year. According to the Vietnam National Administration of Tourism, an overall 30% increase in travellers saw around 950,000 international arrivals in June alone. Visitor numbers from Russia, South Korea, Cambodia and Spain have all increased this year, with the biggest surge coming from Russia. A French Vietnamese dissident blogger has been deported to France after being stripped of his birth nationality by authorities in the one-party state. Former math lecturer Phạm Minh Hoàng was put on a plane to Paris last Saturday, weeks after his Vietnamese citizenship was revoked. The 62-year-old served a jail sentence in 2011 after he published a series of articles which prosecutors said were aimed at overthrowing the government. He was released from jail after 17 months and ordered to serve 3 years of house arrest. On Friday, Hoàng was arrested in Ho Chi Minh City after losing his appeal against deportation. While Vietnam routinely jails critics of its regime, Hoàng is the first Vietnam-based dissident to have his citizenship revoked in recent history. Japan has held its first national Vietnamese language proficiency exam in Tokyo City. Vietnam news agency reported some 400 Japanese students from different age groups sat the test at the Japanese College of Foreign Languages on Sunday. Education insiders told VNA the test reflects Vietnam's rising importance in the region. Japan is Vietnam's largest source of official development assistance, its second largest foreign investor and fourth largest trading partner. A courtroom trial between a Vietnamese actress and businessman has captured the attention of the nation. 30-year-old Phuong Nga is a high-profile figure in Vietnam, known for her title as Miss Vietnam 2007 and roles as an actress. She's also a businesswoman, model and music lyricist. Back in 2015, Nga was accused of pocketing close to $1 million from Vietnamese businessman Co Vang. Mi alleges that he sent Nga the money back in 2013 to buy a home that he says he later found out never existed. Both Nga and Mi are believed to have been involved in an extramarital affair at the time, and Nga's defense team has argued against the fraud charges, saying the money Nga received was a gift. The case has ignited moral debate in the Vietnamese public, who has largely been supportive of Nga, despite the country's history of condemning women in extramarital affairs. When Nga was first arrested, she reportedly confessed to the fraud. However, in later trials, she retracted her confessions, saying it had been coerced. She also insisted she'd been in a love affair with Mi, but he rejected the claim. The trial will resume today. Tunnelling for Vietnam's first subway has begun in Ho Chi Minh City. The Japanese Shimizu construction company is slated to oversee the construction of a 1.74-kilometre underground stretch between the planned Opera House Station and Ba Sun Station. The subway is part of Ho Chi Minh City's new urban railway, which will span 19.7 kilometres and connect the city centre with the northeastern suburbs. Various parts of the proposed 6-line network will run overground and some under. A metro system is also in the works for Vietnam's capital city of Hanoi. Earlier this week, the leading property developer group, Vingroup, signed a deal with the Vietnamese government to invest into the city's first metro system. As part of the city's overall development plan for the year 2030, Hanoi has planned to build an 8-line metro system that is estimated to cost $52 billion. Construction has already begun on 4 routes, but progress has been slower than usual due to ballooning costs. Hanoi is keen to use private-public partnerships to raise money for the infrastructure, and Vingroup is the first private company to invest in the project. The Vietnamese government has denied OneCoins legitimacy after the fraud digital currency claimed it had been granted a formal license to trade in the country. OneCoin is largely believed to be a scam. It bills itself as a cryptocurrency much like Bitcoin, but investors enter the scheme by purchasing so-called education packages that can cost between 100 to 118,000 euros. These packages include tokens, which the company says will later allow buyers to exchange for the OneCoin currency. But there is currently no way to exchange OneCoins into any other currency. The Vietnamese government said the OneCoin company had forged official government signatures on documents it had shared on social media. OneCoin has since pulled down a blog post it published, announcing its recognition by the Vietnamese government. A 5-year-old girl in Vietnam's Vĩnh Phúc province has been found strung up to the ceiling by her wrists. A warning to viewers, the following images might be distressing. Footage shows the girl hanging more than a metre from the ground, with her hands tied to a horizontal pole. Police have detained the girl's foster mother, who strung the girl up to punish her for allegedly taking a carton of milk. A local hospital cleared the girl of any serious physical harm, and she was picked up by relatives shortly after the video went public. It's still unclear as to who shot the video and shared it online. Back to news in Australia. A Vietnamese man in Melbourne's west who was shot and killed in his home was only discovered by neighbours a week after the shooting. Victoria Police are currently investigating the suspected murder of the 49-year-old man who was found by a visitor to the Deer Park property. The visitor who found the victim is not a family member but was there for business purposes. Neighbours reported hearing gunshots about a week earlier at 3 a.m. The man ran a sewing business from his home and is believed to have lived alone. Detectives are now appealing for witnesses, and anyone with information is urged to contact Crime Stoppers on 1800 333 000 or submit a confidential crime report at crimestoppersvic.com.au. A local council in Adelaide has voted to formally recognise the Vietnamese yellow flag, also known as the Co Vang. The Port Adelaide Enfield Council also voted to fly the yellow flag for 1 week during 2 Vietnamese cultural celebrations each year. The yellow flag with red stripes is a symbol of democracy and freedom against communism for much of the Vietnamese community in Australia, many of whom came as refugees from the Vietnam War. Close to 3,000 people signed the petition requesting the local council to fly the flag. In August, the Co Vang will be flown in Adelaide's Regency Park to commemorate the Battle of Long Tan. It will also be flown at the same location during the Lunar New Year in February next year. That's all from Tuần-san News of the Week. For more stories, you can follow Tuần-san at tvtsonline.com.au and at Facebook at Tuần-san. I'm Emma Doe. Thank you so much for watching. I look forward to your company at the same time next week.